Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to some more Get Involved. We are covering Group D today as we're only a couple of days away from Euro 2024 starting. And joined with me today is my brother from another mother. It is Kyle.
I love that introduction. I really do. Hi guys, how we all doing?
So, as always, as you saw the last episode when it was me, Dano, and Kyle, I gave them a question, and it's been the same for every video since. Looking at this group, right now we have Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. Who are you putting first down to fourth?
No brainer, really, is it? France first.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then looking on in terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Past? No, not past achievement, but in terms of how well they've done between Netherlands and Poland. I'd put Netherlands second,
Mm-hmm.
Poland third, Austria fourth.
Yeah, I'd pretty much agree with that. Like I say, France first, Netherlands second, although Netherlands is like a second home to me. I've never been there, but I just love the Dutch. So, second for me, then yeah, Poland third, and Austria fourth. Poland and Austria are looking from here, before we also go into the teams, it might change our perspective after. Um, but the only thing that I can say is, again, not bad teams. You've got to remember, like, there's
Yes.
like Group E and Group F might give us a bit more of a challenge, but Group D again, there's quite a few players we know from these teams and hope to talk
Yeah.
about as key players. So again, not the worst teams in the world, but you look at that side and you do kind of think it's France. They've got the best squad in that group. Um,
Yeah.
and to be fair, they have one of the best young players in the world in Mbappe. And we'll see what he does at Real Madrid, obviously, in this upcoming season. So, that being said, now I know I can actually change my picture over. Boom! This Poland squad here is actually still provisional. Although we believe it's been concrete and selected in properly, there was no picture that was vertical enough for me to pull up, and they messed with the setup, which was just flat out annoying. So, just know that the keeper, that begins with Z, is not there, and then we'll go through a couple of others. However, looking at this squad, first things first that we have to talk about is on the spreadsheet that we've got. Again, I'll leave a link to that in the description so you guys can view everything. We've got an X next to two names. Now, at this moment in time, from the reports that we've seen, it looks as though they should be okay to maybe perform in the Euros. However, in the recent game, the recent friendly that Poland had, Robert Lewandowski, one of the best strikers in the world, got injured and came up with a thigh problem. However, from what Kyle has said and reports that he's seen, he should be alright. It was just a little strain and shouldn't be too much. However, the kind of not obviously no injury is funny. But Karol Swiderski got injured in the 12th minute, I think it was, celebrating. So yeah, imagine celebrating and getting injured. So they're the two I want to speak about first. Because again, they're doubts right now. It's why they've got an X next to their name, but they are doubts. But again, reports say they should be about. But Kyle, looking at this Poland squad, key players,
Yes.
who would you
Uh,
like to pick out?
I mean, literally looking at the spreadsheet myself. Uh, Obviously, the main name that stands out is Lewandowski, but no, I'm gonna go to defense, and I'm gonna go is it Jacob or Jakob. I don't know how they would pronounce that
Yeah.
name, but Kivior. Uh, Obviously, key part of Arsenal's defense this season as well, despite obviously not winning the league.
Yeah, really good backup
Uh,
to Gabriel and Saliba.
oh yeah, definitely. 24 years old. He's probably started just to hit his prime.
Yeah.
Probably can only get better as well. But yeah, going on form, he's played really well for Arsenal, and I reckon he could get in the starting lineup in the first game against who they've got. Netherlands. There we go.
Ooh. I'm conflicted now.
But yeah, again, it's probably the only, apart from Lewandowski and Bednarek, and Szczesny, sorry, the only name I recognise there.
So we've got Kiwior or Kivior, however you pronounce it. Again, I do apologise. We apologise. We are going to butcher some names. I speak gibberish as my first language, then English as my second. It's always what I say. So we have Martin Bulker, another keeper on loan, not on loan, sorry, was at PSG and then was also at OGC Nice. Had a really good season actually, looking back. Great keeper. I think he was on Chelsea's books. Let me just have a very quick check for you lovely lot. Here we go. Martin Bulker. Yeah, OGC Nice. Yeah, he was at Chelsea. But obviously he left. No, so he was never at Chelsea. I apologise. I don't know where I've got that. No, he was. 2016 to 2019 youth career Chelsea. And then after he left, he went to PSG, in which he made 2 appearances, a couple of loans, but he solidified himself as the starting Nice goalkeeper from 2022. And at Chelsea, he looked quite good, don't get me wrong. He's still only 24, mind you, so he's probably going to be looking at being the starting goalkeeper for Poland in the future. For sure. Szczesny's maybe got a tournament or 2 left in him. He's on about moving to another club at this moment in time. Looking through the midfield, there's a couple of names I noticed, like Jakub Moder, Peter Zielinski, who was at Napoli at one point, I believe. We have the Szymanski brothers. I think one of the Szymanski brothers is at Brighton. So let me have a quick check and I'll let you know on that one. Let's have a look at Sebastian. He's at Fenerbahce right now. So it's going to be the other one, which is Damien, I believe.
Damien.
Yes, Damien. There we go. Again, I could be very wrong. No, I don't think they are, Brian. Again, I don't know where I've got that from.
Poor sauce, poor ball knowledge.
Honestly, awful ball knowledge. You know what? That might be me just thinking that one of them's gone to like a kind of youth team. So apologies on that. I got that one completely messed up. Let me just check something very quickly. Because, yeah, so the one below on our list is Nikola Zelewski. I can't pronounce the names again, I apologise. At Roma, he's made 72 appearances for Roma since 2021. 5'9", he plays as a fullback, wingback, according to this anyway. Still only 22, but already made 72 appearances for Roma. So, looks like a decent young player. Again, one they'll be probably hoping to, do well with. Let me just double check everything on that. Yep, cool. And then the last one I'd say from this list is, it was going to be Milik, but as you can see on the screen, he's there. He wasn't called up for the team, or I don't know if he got injured. But the other one I'm actually going to talk about is Krzysztof Piatek, who he's a bit of a weird striker, and I don't mean that nastily, obviously, but like in terms of he had like a really good season and then dropped off, and then had a really good season. So some of the clubs he's been in, he's only 28, but some of the clubs he's played for is Genoa, in which he had a half decent season, 13 goals in 19 appearances. He was then at AC Milan, in which he had 13 in 36. Hertha BSC, in which he had 12 in 56. Then he went to Fiorentina, didn't do too well. Salernitana, didn't do too well. And then he's currently at Istanbul right now, where he scored 17 in 34. So a goal every other game. You're probably going to obviously want Lewandowski up top, I think, personally.
Yeah.
But Piatek is definitely a good backup striker. He has goals in him. He has currently 11 in 29 for Poland. Again, still only 28, so still probably in his prime-ish. Still got good years ahead of him. Maybe towards the back end, but still, being 28 and striker for many clubs is really good. Other than that, I don't really think there's anyone else I want to talk about. Looking at this,
Going off Lewandowski, obviously a possible thigh strain, and obviously Swiderski. That's, I believe, was a sprained ankle. I reckon with it being injuries that could possibly lead to much worse cases, I don't think you risk them.
Yeah.
I say you put them on the bench, or at least Lewandowski on the bench for the first game, and then let him ease the injury off. But just looking at the stats of the qualifications, he played 8 games and scored 3 goals. For one of the best strikers in the world,
yep,
that is poor.
So I know where
he did pick up 2 assists. Again, it all depends on the service that he gets.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know where I went wrong with the Brighton player. He is actually called Kasper Kozlowski. Now, I don't believe he's on this list, and that's who I was thinking of as the young player. He's a 20-year-old midfielder, 5'10". He's at Brighton and currently on loan at Vitesse. So that's where I was going wrong. He's made 6 national appearances already, to be fair to him. I don't think he's in the squad. But that's who I was looking at as the Brighton player, so apologies on that. But a Brighton player I did miss, actually, and Dano would kick my head in if I wasn't to talk about him, in all fairness. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Just, again, for El Capitan, because, well, he's El Capitan, isn't he? You saw him last video. He's got ball knowledge. He knows what he's doing. Jakob Modder, Brighton player. He's been at Brighton since 2020. And yeah, it looks like he's always been solid. He's still only 25, 6'2" centre mid by the looks of things. Playing for Brighton, like I say, for as much as he has. But I've not really seen much of him. I just know that when he has played, he's kind of been alright. He made 17 appearances this season, apparently, with 2 appearances. No goals, no assists, no nothing like that. At least what Wikipedia is telling me anyway. But he's made 3 international appearances this season anyway. So, and the last time he scored an international goal was against us in 2021. Great, wonderful.
That's brilliant. Everything involves England nowadays.
Crap. Anyway,
I want to go back to Kivior as well.
Okay.
Looking at his qualifying stats, played in all 10 matches. Made 5 tackles, recovered the ball 59 times, an average of 5.9 per game. That's solid stats.
Yeah,
that is very solid stats. So it probably goes to show that he is starting player.
Yeah,
in
maybe
that lineup.
Yeah, maybe centre back, maybe left back, because that's where he's been deployed a little bit recently for Arsenal. So
yeah,
again, it's not a bad side. They do have some good players in there, some good key players in there. However, a better side and potentially my favourite side is this team just here. Now, very quickly, I'd like to point out 2 changes are being made to this team. So the first change is Frankie de Jong. At this moment in time of recording, has picked up an injury and is not, or he might have still had an injury, is not available to play in the Euros. So, with that being said, Ian Matson, who should have been called up in my opinion, has finally been called up. He had a really good season at Borussia Dortmund, as left back. And I think a left back is what this team could actually use, because if you look at the players, they have Nathan Ake, more of a centre back. Daley Blind, more of a centre back. You have Virgil van Dijk, who's obviously a centre back. If he was anything else, I'd be a bit worried. Mickey van der Ven might be able to play left back, but an actual out and out left back in Maatsen is now in the squad, which is brilliant. So Ian Maatsen replaces Frankie de Jong, and the other injury is Teun Koopmeiners, who is one I quite like him. He had a really good season with Atlanta, obviously won the Europa League. But unfortunately, he's picked up an injury and will also be excluded from the squad. They're waiting to call up another Dutch player at this moment in time, which I quite personally believe this team's got potential. However, we will go obviously on about some of the players in here as well. But compared to France, I don't know. Right, so Kyle, I'll let you go first on key players in the Netherlands team.
Brilliant. Because I have probably just seen. Well, I mean, I want to start with the goalkeepers actually. According to this on the UEFA website, Bart Verbruggen is apparently the number one goalkeeper for the Netherlands.
He started the friendly last night against Iceland, which, by the way, England, if you're watching this and you watch the Dutch game, that's how you play against Iceland. They bagged 4, should have been 5, but they bagged 4.
Yes, by the looks of it, they did. I think they played all the goalkeepers listed. I think
possibly. Just a very quick thing before you carry on. Dano has just messaged in the group chat, and Fabrizio has put it out as a recording. Lewandowski has suffered a torn bicep femoris muscle yesterday night. That sounds odd to say.
Okay.
He will miss the opening game versus Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
And Poland report they are doing everything so he can play in the second match. So he definitely will miss the Netherlands game, which I personally, that's a big game to miss.
It is.
But as a report, so thank you to Dano for the group chat and Fabrizio on Twitter. Lewandowski is out of the first match as it stands. Sorry, go on.
Yep. No problem at all. They didn't play Justin. I'm going to call him Justin because I don't want to botch that last name.
I usually call him Bigelow, but that could be horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Big Justin.
So it looks to me that so Verbruggen played 4.
Mm-hmm.
Flecken played 2.
Okay.
Which is only 6. Now, Euro qualifiers, they usually play 10 games.
Yeah.
Which probably goes to show that their other goalkeeper that was probably named in their preliminary squad played the other.
I forgot the name, which is really doing my head in, but yeah.
But yes, comparing the 2, I mean, going off FM, obviously, our El Capitan is Brighton and has Verbruggen. Very good goalkeeper, obviously, at the age of 21 as well. Got plenty of time.
Oh, yes.
To get even better. But again, Mark Flecken, again, another good goalkeeper.
Brentford keeper.
Brentford, yes. Yes, probably. So, if I was Netherlands manager, it's probably giving me a headache to see who gets the starting lineup. But
oh, yeah.
I reckon just because of the age, and he's got plenty of time, Verbruggen will probably be the starting goalkeeper.
To be fair to him yesterday, he didn't really have a lot to do when I was watching the game, but
Yep.
there was a couple of moments where he needed to be active, and he was. He, like I say, he plays for Brighton. He's made 21 appearances since I think start of the season. I think it was, so not bad. He was chosen to play ahead of Jason Steele at the time. And to be, like I say, he's 21. He's very young. He's got time. 6'4", may I add, like the tall keeper. And
Unit.
yeah, like I say, he's again. Dano would be at us if we didn't talk about Bart Verbruggen. I personally love the goalkeeper. Again, I'm a Palace fan. I'm saying love a Brighton player. Oh dear, no, but like he's a really exceptional goalkeeper, and again, he could be the mainstay for years to come. He's already solidified himself as a quality goalkeeper. Now, don't get me wrong, Justin. He's been kind of the most consistent Dutch keeper for a while now. He's been good, but his injuries have always kind of held him back, unfortunately. And Mark Flecken's just always been a quality standard goalkeeper, really. Reliable. You can't really put anything past him, but just reliable. But in terms of like the Dutch national team stuff, I would agree with Kyle here. I'd probably start Bart Verbruggen. I think this is his Euros to shine and really, really put himself on that map. Like he's already on it. Don't get me wrong, but this is the chance to go right. Look at me, like look, I'm a great goalkeeper, kind of thing. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look. Jasper Cillessen, I believe, was the
Yes,
other
there we go.
goalkeeper.
Yep, there we go. Now you mentioned it. It makes
Euro
sense.
qualified. Yes, played 2 games in the qualification, so they must have been in a group where they only play 8,
Possibly.
if I'm not mistaken. I'll go on standings for their group. Okay, so we were. Wait, no, that's the actual tournament. I want the qualification.
So whilst he's just having a quick look for that,
Uh,
a player I want to point out as well, by the way, is so this Dutch team is my team, right? Obviously, I'm an English supporter through and through. I won't ever go and support Netherlands over England. However, I love the Dutch. I think the way they play is some phenomenal football, and I've always had a thing for the Dutch basically. And one of the players in here I want to really point out is Xavi Simons, right? To be fair, there's a defender I should really be talking about again. I might kick my head in for this, but Xavi Simons, an incredible player. I don't know why he went back to PSG, but whatever. Every time he's been out on loan, and he was at RB Leipzig, he was at PSV, and he's been phenomenal. He's really shown he's got the quality, but the thing is, with him being at PSG, I just don't think he shines in that squad, unfortunately. But he scored last night. He needed it. To be fair, he's a very good. He can play cam, left wing, right wing. Like again, one of my favorite players. He's really good to watch. If I have a quick look at his stats over the past years, he's still only 21. Feels like he's been around forever. So, but so he was at PSG 21 to 20. He was a Barcelona Youth Academy product, mind you. PSV, he had 19 goals in 34 appearances. And then Leipzig, he's had 8 goals in 32 appearances, but he's mostly played cam or right winger. Again, he's a really promising player, and he's starting to really get into his prime and find his feet and mature a bit as well, I think, is another thing. So he hopefully should be a standout player for this team if they can play him in the correct position. Because, again, I think it's all about where they play him. But we'll see on that. Yeah, go on, Carl.
Yeah, so I've managed to find it here. So there's in qualification, there's 10 groups in which 7 play 8 games, and then 3 play 10 games, and that's why I was a bit mixed up. So I believe talking about Denmark yesterday and whatnot. Obviously, clicking on a player, seeing their qualification stats, and they've played 10 games, and it's just like adding up all these goalkeepers games, and they only add up to 8. So that's what's confused me. But yeah, so yeah, 4 points behind France. They finished, so with France drawing 1 game and then winning 7, Netherlands winning 6 and losing 2.
It's not bad though. Still, like in a group
No.
with France, obviously, doing that. I'm gonna talk about Frimpong for a second. I have to.
Yep, I knew you were going to do it. If you weren't, I was.
Dano was gonna have me sideways if I didn't. He's just come off the back of an unbeaten league season with Bayer Leverkusen. He's been incredible. Bear in mind, right? So here's a little thing. Frimpong is from City, I believe. He's 23 years old. Yep, I'm right on that. Thank you. So, fun fact: he was in Man City's youth academy from 2010 to 2019. In
Okay.
2019 to 2021, he went to Celtic, which would annoy a lot of people, especially in this group we have. However, in 2021, he made his move to Bayer Leverkusen, in which he has a standout season with Bayer Leverkusen, knocking up 9 goals in 31. It doesn't tell me the assists right now, which is annoying. See if I can find another stat sheet. Let's use Transfer Market. So, according to this, if it loads, because my goodness, it's taking its time. Stats, current season, here we go. Right. So, this season, he has notched up 9 goals, 9 assists in 31 appearances, just in the league, as a right wing back. In the DFB Pokal, he's got 2 goals and 3 assists in 6 games. Again, right wing back. Playing as a right mid. He's also played attacking mid 1 game, which is wild to me. But they've notched him down as a right midfielder because they don't have a right wing back in place. But that Bayer team this year has been incredible. And Frimpong has been at the utmost thing of it. You know, he's attacking, he's quick, he's got really good cross on him. Same again yesterday. Put a really nice ball across to Depay. The goal was offside, unfortunately. But a really nice ball across to Depay. Ran up that right wing as he always kind of does. An incredible player. You know, the world is at his feet for Frimpong. Like I say, whether he stays at Leverkusen, I don't know. But he's going to be vital for this. The way they play might depend on Frimpong being fit as the right wing back. Because do I see Netherlands playing a 4 or 5 at the back? Honestly, a 5. But it depends on what they do. But yeah, Frimpong has been the absolute standout in this team. I won't say the best standout, but an absolute standout in this team. Again, coming off the back of this Leverkusen season. And I could definitely talk about these all day, but Kyle needs to talk, so I'm going to let him.
Yep. Another player I'm picking out is their captain.
Yes. Good choice.
Big Virgil van Dijk. Again, another player that came from Celtic to Southampton and then went to Liverpool. Looking at his overall rating since he's joined Liverpool, according to FlashScore,
Okay.
2017-2018 season 7.4, 7.6 after that, 7.4. I'm going to skip that and come back to it. But 21-22 season 7.3, 73. What am I on about? 7.1 and 7.2. Consistent seasons for Virgil van Dijk. Now, the one that stands out is the 2021 season.
That the champion now, it's not Champions League.
6.6. Now, he only played 5 games in that season.
Oh.
So he must have been hit with a bad injury.
Yeah.
forgetting that, looking at his overall rating that in the rest of the seasons, absolute consistent defender, rarely makes mistakes. That's
The,
why he is probably picked as the captain and just an all-out unit.
the name says it all, doesn't it? Like, you say Virgil van Dijk and you know exactly what you're getting.
I mean, he's the most expensive defender in the Premier League, I believe.
And Maguire might beat him to that one, you know.
Was it Maguire?
Maguire might beat him to that one. Not too sure on that, just because obviously we know he cost a bomb. That's the main thing. Is he cost 75 million? He cost. I think Maguire was 80. I'm not too sure on that one, so don't quote me. But going off your thing with the 2021, Van Dijk was expected to be out for 6 to 12 months.
Yes.
Because he had an ACL injury. And bear in mind, he came back and he's still as good now, is a credit to him.
Yep. Going off his qualification stats, 7.1. Played all 8 games, scored 1 goal, but again, he's a defender. You're not going to score many. I mean, it probably came from a corner or something.
Saying that, he's got 18 goals and 197 for Liverpool and 9 and 68 for the Dutch national team.
Yeah. But, yeah, you say the name. He's, if not one of the best,
absolutely,
defenders. He is the best defender in the world right now.
Yeah. You have other people, such as Matthijs de Ligt, a very decent young. I say young, he's 25. Still quite to prove his worth. I think he's on about leaving Bayern, so we'll see what happens there. But again, a solid centre back, nevertheless. Usually partners with Van Dijk. You have Luxuel Gertrudia, who has been just a man on a mission this season. I reckon he goes to Liverpool with Arne Slot, because he's Mr. Reliable, can play right back, centre back, CDM, centre mid, you name it. The guy's a utility player. Mickey van der Ven, one of my recent favourite kind of players, fast centre back. He is rapid. Plays for Tottenham, so say he plays for Tottenham says a lot about who he is. No, but
was he not the one that cost Arsenal the league in our FM?
Yes, because I signed him the season after.
Did he win you the league?
Yeah, he won me the league in FM, and because I was signing him one time for the next season, and it ends up being that he scores against Arsenal. So because I was West Ham at the time, I won the title that season thanks to Mickey van der Ven, and then he joins me the season after. So another reason why he's one of my favourites. Denzel Dumfries, again, another right wing back. Frimpong's probably just been better, but Denzel Dumfries has been exceptional for Inter Milan. Again, a really good player. Can play centre back. He's a 6'2" right wing back, by the way. Like, he's just a monster. Powerhouse, fast, physical. What you need from a, like, I won't say right wing back because Frimpong's the opposite, but just incredible player. Then moving on to the midfield. Obviously, we spoke about Frankie de Jong and Koopman, so ignore them. My pick, apart from Simmons, is going to be Ryan Gravenberch. He is a player I followed since Ajax. He's really good. He could be a Ruud Gullit kind of player, and that's gone off FIFA stats, admittedly, so ignore that. But he's kind of got it all. He's quick, he can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble, he can defend, and he's quite physical. He's 6'3" centre mid, for crying out loud. He looks like the full package, and at Liverpool, he could easily be one of the world's best centre mids. Admittedly, you've got some good centre mids in front of him, but he's got the ability to be that player. Kind of surprised he got called up, knowing that he missed out on the last, maybe qualifiers or whatnot, because he dropped out. Maybe to do an injury or whatever, I don't know. But again, another player to look out for. You were going to say one, Carl?
Yes, my midfielder that stands out to me is Gini Wijnaldum. I mean, the the guy pops up whenever he's needed.
Yeah.
I mean, only played 2 games in the qualification.
Mhm.
Didn't score or assist, but average rating is a 7. Going off this, did score a goal in one of the friendlies, recent friendlies. Though played 3 of them. 7.3 rating. Trying to figure out what game it was he scored.
What was I gonna say? What?
Uh,
Got it.
scored. Yep, scored against Scotland. So
Lovely.
our neighbours up north, up yours, as we say here.
Up yonder.
No disrespect to Scotland, but yes, I'm not a big fan of yours. So
Yeah, like I say, obviously we know the Liverpool history with Wijnaldum.
yeah,
Great player. He does seem a bit shaky in the past few games I've seen, so we'll see if he can sort that out. But always a good player, regardless. Like, he's there when you need him. And to kind of finish up, really, we've got Tiani Reindeers. That's definitely not how you pronounce his name, but I like it being called Reindeers. Had a decent season for AC Milan. Jerdy Schouten, again another good Dutch player. In the Dutch league, solid season. Joey Vermin sounds like an older guy. I think he's only like 25. Again, solid player, a solid season. Moving on to the attackers now. Steven Bergwijn not had the best season at Ajax. Still a good player, but Ajax obviously has had a difficult season. Brian Brobby, Ajax again, but he's had a better season. He's definitely helped them get the goals where he's needed to. Memphis Depay, free agent at the end of this season, or might be now. Did Dano say yesterday he's getting close to Van Persie's all-time record goal scorer? I think.
I believe so. If
Let's have a look at Depay.
Look. Top goal scorers.
Definitely should be Van Persie, but I can't remember how many.
Yes, he is. So he has. Van Persie has 50 goals.
And
Memphis Depay has 45.
yes, 45. So only 5 away from becoming the top goal scorer for Netherlands. Couple of Depay stats. PSV Eindhoven, 39 in 90. Man U, 2 goals in 33. We don't talk about that one much.
In quite a few, he can do it in quite a few less games as well. Robin Van Persie played 102 and scored 50 goals.
Depay
Memphis
91.
Depay has only played 92 games.
91 on here,
Scored
so
40.
that's pulling updated on my end then.
Okay, yeah.
Leon, 63 goals in 139 appearances, 13 goals in 30 for Barca, and 9 goals in 31 for Atletico Madrid. So his goal scoring, has been enough. Admittedly, he likes to be called Memphis, but what are you gonna say, sorry?
So, according to Flashscore, he's played 107 and scored 50 goals. So, I'm guessing. Oh, I'm guessing this has included his
Possibly.
under 21s and under 19 stats. So,
Quite possibly.
yes, I'm looking at this. He's scored 4 goals for the under 19s and 1 goal for the under 17s.
Nice.
So yeah, if you take off their appearances and goals,
yeah,
it adds up.
And then, so again, Depay, like I say, really good. He will probably be the vocal point for this Dutch team. Then we have Cody Gakpo, who's had an okay season at Liverpool. He's definitely not bad by any means. He's been consistent. He's been good. He's definitely got ability about him. I'm hoping he has a better season next season. But again, quite reliable. Donny Marlin, M9 himself, because of his haircut. He looks like R9 right now, which is quite good. One of my favourite players. He's quick. He can score. I don't think Dortmund's used him to the
He's
best.
not offside.
Yeah, he was always offside in my FM career. If Borussia can utilise him properly, I think he could be a lot better than what he has been. As a right mid, I don't think it suits him. I think as a striker, but what do I know? I'm just here commentating on stuff. So there's that. And then to finish off, Wout Weghorst.
Looking at these stats for qualifying stats for Marlon.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they've been playing him in his natural striking position. I assume he's a natural striker.
He usually is a striker. He's definitely played right mid this season.
So he's played 7 games, scored on, but had 13 attempts. So, yes, I'm guessing they've not played Marlon as the main striker in their qualifying stat.
He's mostly been kind of used as a right mid, I'd say, this season at least anyway. But he did score last night in the friendly, which is nice to see, if I'm honest. You know,
offsides one. There we go.
Yeah, it's always bound to happen. But and then you've got the cult hero Wout Weghorst, who is internationally a great player. Maybe not so much club level. You know, Burnley, Man U, and whatnot. But internationally, Wout Weghorst seems to be just solid. Can't really fault him there. I'd say a very solid team for what they are. I look at this team, and as much as I love the team, I just don't think this is a winning team. I think this is a builder's team at the moment. Like, they've got their players in right now. Van Dijk maybe could be his last kind of international stuff like that, but this team's definitely got the potential for years upon. But I just don't see them winning. As much as I love the Dutch, I just don't see them winning. Still a very good squad, regardless. Now, let's move it over to Austria. So again, on that side there, it's preliminary. We have the team sheet in front of us. I just couldn't find another picture that was what I needed. So, not a lot of players here that stand out, if I'm honest. I will take the first one being Kevin Danzo, though. RC Lens defender. Quality player. He's a unit. Defended really well this season, to be fair. They had a good finish. Kevin Danzo definitely should be starting for me, but we'll see. But like I say, for me, when I've seen him play at times, he's been really good. Quite enjoyed him as a centre-back. Kyle?
Yeah. I'm going to skip straight to the attack. I mean, going through the other teams in the actual competition as well, like, according to this, obviously they've named 4 attackers. I just want to check on the actual UEFA website if that's true or not.
Yeah, here it says they've done.
Yeah. Apparently they've only named 4 attackers, and looking at the age as well, it is quite an aged striking group.
Yeah.
With the oldest being Marko Arnautovic. Obviously, he's been around quite some time. He's more of obviously an attacking winger, I believe.
I think he's played striker this season.
I'm trying to look at his qualifying stats. Only played four games, so not been as used as I thought. As much.
So he's got 36 goals in 112 appearances for Austria. He had 5 in 27 for Inter Milan this season. 24 in 54 for Bologna. He had 19 in 33 for Shanghai, 21 in 59 for West Ham, 22 in 125 for Stoke, 14 in 72 for Werder Bremen, and then 12 in 44 for 20. So scrap Stoke. Anything after Stoke, he's had a half decent return. To be fair to him, kind of always seems to be in and about. What you said. Did you say his age?
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, 35, and still got it really. And I definitely think this could be his last international competition.
Yeah, so he played 4, scored 2 goals. Not a bad stats there, especially for a 35-year-old. Just checking who they mainly played up top. Was it Grigors?
It might have been Grigor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grigor.
6 games. 6 games played, 3 goals scored. Don't know really much about him, but I want to move on to the guy named Andreas Weimann.
Yep. Sit back a little bit from your. Right, interference. You've got interference coming in.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're right. It's just loud on that turn.
Brilliant. No stats from qualifying, apparently.
Wonderful. That's what you need.
That's exactly. I can tell I'm a professional at this. Anyway, going back to him, good player in my opinion in terms of club level. I know a bit about him because he was at Derby at one point.
Yep.
With looking at his stats, 3 seasons at Derby.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best, but I believe we were playing him not in his natural position. Or I could be getting mixed up with Matej Vidra here. But first season at Derby, 4 goals in 31 appearances.
Ooh.
5 goals in 42 appearances in his last season for Derby. Looking at his average ratings on here, all in the high 6s to 7s. I just want to say, decent player. Internationally, here we go. Yeah, didn't play in the qualifying, so that's why there's no stats. But in the recent friendlies, played 3, scored a goal.
So just going off a couple of club stats for him, 9 goals in 81 for Derby. But his best tenured spell is at Bristol, where he scored 50 in 205 appearances. Often used as a forward or attacking midfielder, according to this. So 5'10". He looks like he's going to be a backup player to Gregoritsch or Marko Arnautovic. But again, a very decent backup nevertheless. Actually, I know of him from Derby, and a bit about him from Bristol. So a good player regardless. Looking at some of the other players to jump out about is Gernot Trauner, I want to say his name is, centre back from Feyenoord. Looks like he's had a good season, to be fair. I've always seen good things about him whenever I've seen his name. The other ones are Patrick Wimmer, right mid, I believe. Konrad Laimer at Bayern Munich right now. Marcel Sabitzer as well. Was on loan at Man U last season, on loan at Borussia Dortmund, who got to the Champions League final, obviously, this season. So a good player in himself. I am surprised not to see David Alaba here though. But I wonder if he's injured or just retired internationally. David Alaba. Let's have a look. So apparently David Alaba will be at the Euros, but not playing. Let's have a look. It's not featured since he ruptured his ACL. He was on the bench, wasn't expected to play, still not fully fit, and Ralf Rangnick opted not to rush him back, but they've given him a role in the side. Regardless, he'll be a non-playing captain, Alaba will, so he is with the squad. But Alaba will be a non-playing captain, which is really good because his experience as a left-back, centre-back, and centre-mid for country will definitely be needed in this squad, as I believe they have the weakest of the three sides we've mentioned so far. However, upsets can happen. Saul says himself, football's a funny old game. So, anything can really happen there. Let me move on to this that I wanted to check. So just bear with me a second. I might have to finish this off on my own, because as it notes just now, Cal's laptop's just crashed. So, yeah. I might have to finish this off on my own. See, there you go. That's that. So, give me 5 minutes. If I'm back on my own, you will see me doing the French one. And if not, then we'll have Carl back. So, see you in a minute, maybe. And we are back. I have Carl back with us. As I said just before, we didn't know what was going to happen. His laptop crashed, but he's back now. So, welcome back.
I'm back.
He's back.
Thank you.
So, luckily, we've only got France to finish off. So, I will go over to France. You can see the squad, obviously, on that side. They have named 25, and I think they're keeping it that way as well. They, all squads should have been in by now, and there was no changes to the squad. They named 25 and went ahead with it. So, I mean, you've got Poster Boy there, Kylian Mbappe. I actually don't think we need to talk about him a lot. Just for the sake of people know who he is. People know how good he is. He's moved from PSG to Real Madrid. So we'll see how.
It's Mbappe.
Yeah.
The name says it all.
Exactly. Like, he's a great player. He's a great young. He's still 24, 25 years ahead of him. He's incredible. So we'll see what, how important he's going to be in this Euros. However, looking at this squad, the first player I'd like to point out is actually an ex-teammate now in Bradley Barcola. He's had a phenomenal season. He's playing left wing at the moment, or right wing for PSG. Definitely going to be a really good successor to Mbappe, hopefully. Again, this season has really showed what he's about. So when Mbappe leaves, hopefully he steps up and takes his spot because he's had a really good season with him. Another player that I'm going to talk about is Warren Zaïre-Emery, which is actually spelled wrong in the document. Again, PSG. Yeah, Zaire is spelled wrong. So, PSG, wonderful centre mid, young, 19, 20. He's composed. Oh, yeah. Something we've seen with these young players at this moment in time is the composure is through the roof. He, again, is a very composed, young, professional player, which is what you want. Some players that are older still don't have that composure. He basically controls the midfield, and it's lovely to see. Anyone you want to pick out from this French team?
It is the very aged striker of Olivier Giroud.
Oh, okay.
Now, I just wanted to talk about, obviously, was it a game in the Champions League this season that he had to play in goal?
I think it was in the league, actually, thinking about it.
Was it in the league?
I'm not too sure. Let's have a quick look. Olivier Giroud, goalkeeper. Olivier Giroud, goalkeeper. What's Giroud goalkeeper? Oh no, sorry, it was PSG apparently. He was widely praised for his performance. Nope, sorry, no. Giroud went on to play as goalkeeper in the final minutes of a league match against Genoa after Mainan was sent off. making a crucial save in stoppage time to secure Milan's win with a late goal from Christian Pulisic. Widely praised for performance, even named Serie A Team of the Week as a goalkeeper, and then he would the month after would score the winning goal against PSG.
Yeah, so yeah, he's my starting goalkeeper for France.
Nice, I like it. Yeah, he's
No,
not conceded yet, so
exactly. No, going off this season stats, 15 goals in 35. That's not bad for a 37-year-old.
he's always been class. At Chelsea,
With 8 assists.
Arsenal, always been class.
Yeah. Looking at his overall rating, there's a few sixes in there, but just consistently in terms of stats. I mean, overall, he's got 162 goals in 424 appearances.
Wow.
Not bad.
No, not at all.
Very not bad. But yeah, I assume France will be playing Mbappe wide and Giroud as potentially
I would
the
assume.
main man.
Yeah, I would assume so. I would assume it's Dembele, Mbappe, and Giroud is your top three.
Yeah, no disrespect to Griezmann either.
Yeah. Griezmann's a great player.
Giroud, I think, is that just slightly bit better, even at that age.
I would have to agree on that one. Like I say, I like Griezmann. I think he's great, but Giroud has proven for club and country he's incredible. You know, I think Giroud's surpassed on Thierry Henry not so long ago for the most goals for country. We have a.
I will have a look at
yes. Going on to midfield, look, we have returning N'Golo Kante, absolutely deserved, incredible player, even if he's out in a different, if he's out in Saudi, still performing really well. You know, one of the main reasons why Chelsea won, and to be fair, Leicester won. Like, he was just incredible, you know, and still is. You have other players in there like Aurélien Tchouameni and Eduardo Camavinga of Real Madrid. I mean, these boys have got the world at their feet. They play for Real Madrid right now, you know. One of them plays left back, one of them plays centre back when they're both supposed to be centre mids. But regardless of where they've played this season, they've always been consistent. Again, it's a base that Real Madrid can build around. They've got really solid young players in that team, and Tchouameni and Camavinga are just those players. It's like France's midfield is looking very strong at this moment in time. Have you got the stats up?
Yep, you are correct. But I assume that's not going to last long with Kylian Mbappe
No.
on the rise.
No, not at all. So yeah, like I say, obviously Giroud has more goals than Henry, which is mental to think about, really. Then you look at some of the defenders, really. I mean, I do think this is where they're struggling a little bit now. Like you look at the attack and they've got Mbappe, Giroud, and the good. The midfield is strong, but the defenders are a little bit less. I mean, you've got William Saliba, who has played for Arsenal this season, obviously, and he's getting to the levels of Van Dijk. He hardly gets dribbled past. He's such a strong and classy defender. I've seen so many people call him the Rolls Royce of a defender. He just looks so good every time he plays. Now, admittedly, he's not won a title yet, which is a bit, you know, they'll get there, I reckon. But he's been so important to that Arsenal side. You know, and again, he's come along these past few years and very much deserved of his call up this time round. On to you.
Yeah, my standout defender there is probably Benjamin Pavard.
Yep.
Now, I'm only saying this because of the cracking goal he scored in the World Cup against Argentina. Probably proven that if he's up there at some point and he has the space, he will probably strike one.
Oh, yeah.
Naturally, right back, am I right in saying?
Centre back, right back, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, just, I mean, if I'm trying to look at his age.
I think he's below
Is
30, I want to say.
28. So
There you go.
yeah, he's in his prime. Again, as a defender, you're not going to expect much on stats in terms of goals and assists. No. But
have a look through some of the
teams.
teams.
Did score a goal in the qualification while only playing 3 games, so and got an average rating of 7.8 according to FlashScore.
Nice.
If I actually go on the UEFA site though, Benjamin Pavard, here he is. Yeah, passing accuracy 98%.
Oh damn. Oh,
recovered ball 7 in 3 games.
lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the decent right back.
Yeah.
Centre back, in my opinion.
Then we have the likes of Ibrahima Konate and Jules Koundé. Konate being a Liverpool player and a very solid one at that. A very good partnership to Van Dijk. He could be, the centre of Liverpool's defence for years to come, really. Jules Koundé, again, same with Barcelona. Very decent season. I know he's been a bit played more right back than centre back this season. So we'll see how that comes into play. But again, another defender you could probably build around for Barcelona. Ferland Mendy, Real Madrid left back. A lot of people praise him. Apparently, he's one of the best players at Real Madrid. He is strong. He's quick. He's really good in all departments. To be fair to him, and always when he has played consistent, at least from what I've seen. Dayot Upamecano plays for Bayern Munich now. He was tipped to become one of the better centre backs. However, he's not got a lot of composure. His composure often lets him down. But when he plays on his day, he is a quality centre back. I just don't think that Bayern was the right move for him. I will stand by that. I don't think Bayern is the right move for a lot of players, but that's that. Then you have Theo Hernandez, left back for AC Milan, I believe. He's incredible. He scores too many goals to say he's a left back, if I'm honest. Like, if I can have a quick look at him here, Theo Hernandez. He's a very attacking left back.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely a name I recognise while we've been playing FM as well.
So,
again, at the age of 26 as well.
Yeah.
Looks decent. 92 passing accuracy in the qualifying games.
As a left back, 27 goals in 162 appearances for AC Milan, which is a little bit odd considering. I mean, so put it in perspective. In his first season in Serie A, he scored 6 goals in 33 appearances as a left back. Then the season after, he scored 7 in 33, 5 in 32, 4 in 32, and 5 in 32 as a left back. Like, what? It makes realistically not a lot of sense. Like I say, he's a very attacking left back, and he's been known for his goal scoring ability, his speed, and dribbling as well. And quite a lot of people will regard him as one of the best fullbacks in the world. I'll be honest, I'm not one of them. I know he's really good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he's that good. This could be the tournament that he changes my opinion. There's a lot of players in these teams that I do like the look of, and I think they're good players, but I've not really seen them perform because I don't watch a lot of European football outside of maybe the Champions League, Europa League, and Prem. That's kind of my forte. So Hernandez could surprise me and become a really good, and I say become, but show me why he's regarded as one of the best fullbacks in the world. I don't know too much about Jonathan Klaus. I know he's had a good season, ish, but I don't really know much about him. So that brings on to the goalkeepers, which I kind of wanted to go on to because there's a name in there.
I don't.
It's the exact reason why I've done it. So we have Alphonse Areola for West Ham. Carl, you prefer Areola or Mainan to go over?
Probably Areola.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, for West Ham, they probably have had a difficult season in the Premier League this year. Let me just double check. Sorry, I know the season's literally just gone and whatnot, but
You have to double check.
standings. Yes, of course. My laptop's been very slow.
Oh dear. That's sorted that side. Yeah, a lot of clicking. I'm going through the teams and making sure that they are correct. Trying to do that at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, top half finish. Not bad. 14 wins, 10 draws, 14 losses. If I go to squad and thank you for literally opening up a new window when I clicked squad rather than
Bloody hell.
this absolute joke of a laptop. Okay, so he played obviously the majority of the season.
Yep.
Look at his last few matches. Played decently.
Okay.
Average ratings are up there. I don't know how you can get a 6.2 rating while you've won.
I didn't have to do much, to be fair.
Yeah. Saying that, yeah, goalkeeper saves, didn't have to make a save, so he's literally
Stood there.
Yeah.
He's had a free match for 90 minutes.
Yeah, in going back to the final game of the season, the 3-1 loss against City, he's made 9 out of 12 saves.
Yeah.
So those 3 that he's missed were goals. Okay. But looking at him, 9 out of 14 save against a 5-0 loss over Chelsea.
Yeah.
Again, if it's the goals, 6 out of 8, again, goals. So I'm guessing they're literally just going off by how many goals they've conceded. That's how many saves he didn't make. But
yeah, but
I want to say he does look a decent goalkeeper.
Yeah, to be fair, he is a pretty decent goalkeeper. I don't think he starts for this French team at all. I think Mike Maignan takes that spot. Past couple of years for AC Milan, he's really stepped it up. They was looking for a goalkeeper after Hugo Lloris to step up and be that goalkeeper, and Mike is that goalkeeper. You know, he came over to AC Milan, had a really good season. Bear in mind, obviously, he joined after Donnarumma went to PSG. We all know how that went. But Maignan really stepped it up. I'm pronouncing his name probably completely wrong, but Mike's really stepped it up in terms of just how he is as a goalkeeper. He's one of the better goalkeepers in the world at this moment in time, and personally only going to get better. He's, like I say, got a good French team around him. And finally, I will talk about Bryce Samba because I know these lads won't.
I will. I will say something. He played 2 games in the qualifying games and kept a clean sheet. That's all I want to say. No. I mean, I know him. He's, in terms of club level, this is where I'm going to talk about him. He was Nottingham Forest goalkeeper, and he was a very hot-headed goalkeeper when they faced Derby. I remember one of the games at the City ground. We had literally just got a player sent off. If don't know who it was. 'Cause it was another hot-headed. He was quite a hot-headed player as well. But he just came up. He had no right to literally go up to where the foul was, and he just started getting in the play that got sent off face. You're a goalkeeper, like stay on the line.
Yeah, as a Derby fan, Kyle does not like Bryce Samba, say the least. On my side, though, I actually quite like Samba. I've not been a Derby fan for the length these guys has, but I've only really known him actually since he's gone over to Lens. And again, it's kind of where Kevin Danzo comes into play with the Austrian squad, because since going over to Lens from Forest, he's been a really good goalkeeper. You know, he's had a team of the season, I think, in the 2 years. I think he got one in the 2022-23 season and the 23-24 season. Let's have a look. So he got Player of the Month for Forest in November, Team of the Year for Forest in the 2019-2020. He obviously won the playoffs, but then moved. League One Goalkeeper of the Year for 22-23. Bear in mind, he beat out the likes of Donnarumma as well, which is massive. And then in the same year, got another Team of the Year as well. So he was in the Team of the Year, but he was pronounced the Goalkeeper of the Year. So, like, from what he's done, I know, again, a lot of people, Derby fans especially, may not like him. But, so he conceded the least goals, 29, in the league, helping Lens to place second with 84 points. This was in the 2022-23 season, I believe. So a quick little thing with Lens whilst he's been there. So 5-year deal, he had 9 clean sheets out of 19 games. End of the season with 15 clean sheets out of 38. The highest in the season, and was awarded the Goalkeeper of the Year. What's been named in the Team of the Year. As I said, conceded least goals, 29. At 1 point behind league winners PSG. So PSG had 85 points. Lens got 84 points. Secure a Champions League spot for the first time in 20 years since 2002-03, and the third time in the club's history. So, like I say, clearly, Samba going over to Lens has been such a good boost for Lens. Because obviously, again, Goalkeeper of the Year. So, he's been good. Every time I've kind of seen him, his name's always been popping up. And he only recently got his national call-up in 2023 France. And he's 30 as well. So, he's waited his time for his call-up, but honestly, fully deserved. He's been amazing for Lens so far. I don't know much of him from Forest, if I'm honest. I just know that, again, quite a few people don't like him. Not because he was at Forest, but apparently the kind of player he was, as Cal said, quite out-headed, from what I've heard. But, yeah, I can only comment on him being at Lens, because that's mostly where I've seen him from. Again,
I'm literally trying to look for it. I'm not gonna lie, the game.
So yeah, looking at, like I said, that squad, I don't see Samba or Areola starting, but again, honestly, both are really good backups too, Mike. But I just feel as though the defense is a little bit lacking in terms of, like, you've got Saliba in there, you've got Hernandez, which, don't get me wrong, is great. Like, before I say this, it's not, oh my god, the crap. No, I just think if you look at, you know, the midfield and the forwards, you've got your Giroud, your Mbappes, your Dembélés, who performs well for country. You've got your Griezmanns, your Zaire Emerys, your Camavingas, your Kantés, Tuchel. That defence is by no means a 6 out of 10. It's an 8. But it's just a little bit lacking for me, because in that kind of defensive section, I don't think there's anyone that really screams out like full world class. Saliba's incredible. Give it maybe another year. Van Dijk level. No, I mean, there's no one that screams to me Van Dijk level or Mbappe level in that essence, you know. But that's not to say any of those players are bad, because they're not. They are really good. But that's just my personal opinion. I just think that the defense is, you know, probably the keepers are keepers, but the third best out of the midfield and attack. But it's still a very solid defense regardless, and a scary team to go against. We know what France are capable of. Saw them in the World Cup with Argentina. You know, so full credit to France, really. So going back then to this original image, Group D. After go through the squad, Kyle.
Sorry, I want to. I found the game.
Okay.
It happened on the 22nd of January,
Mhm.
2022.
Okay.
So was the season we unfortunately went down.
Yeah.
And the EFL absolutely,
Huh?
insert explicit word here
Yeah.
with the 21 points. Yeah, so Tom Lawrence had scored a penalty in the 88th minute to make it 2-1. As you know, obviously at that point, as a derby, you'd want to get on with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Samba got booked for, I assuming, preventing us from trying to get the ball back to the halfway line.
Fair enough.
96th minute, here we go. Ravel Morrison gets sent off. And at that point, obviously, Bryce Samba had been booked. He's just in Morrison's face and whatnot. Like, why would you risk getting yourself sent off? Okay, yeah, it's probably game over at that point. Yeah, enough ranting. I'm done.
Yeah, he's gone off topic. He's all about Derby in a Euro video, but no, I get what you're saying. He's a bit of a hot-headed shithouse of a keeper, basically. I think is the best way to put it. And whilst I definitely understand in a way that can be annoying, if obviously against your team that you support,
like there's good shithousery, and then there's bad shithousery.
But saying that, if he does play this Euros and he gets in someone's face, could get him sent off. It'd be quite funny. So, it could definitely be, as you said, good or bad.
I literally personally want to fly to Germany just to.
Anyway, enough about the Derby section because we're not all about Derby. We're all about the Euros. Calm it down, Carl. It's fine, honestly. Flashbacks. I get it. All right, I get it. I have my flashbacks to the Palace Man U FA Cup final, but it's fine. It gets easier as time goes on.
Yes, I'm good.
So, looking at the teams after going through, so Poland, Netherlands, Austria, France, are you going to change any teams, or are you happy with your France, Netherlands, Poland, Austria shout?
I'm happy with France.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Poland and Netherlands, I really don't know, because if you're Ian Maatsen and you've not been called up for that 26 lineup, and then all of a sudden you've been called up because of an injury, your moral's probably going to be low for not making it, but obviously that's probably going to be the same as, I don't know, like Harry Maguire, Jack Grealish, Maddison and whatnot, but you're going to obviously want to support them in any way you can.
Mm-hmm.
You think, oh, okay, now I'm getting a call up. This is my time to shine. But then you're probably at that point thinking, but I wasn't originally gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough and whatnot. It might cause some mistakes, in which a team like Austria
will capitalise on.
Probably capitalise on.
Yeah.
If they do, again, Marko Arnautovic or Greg Gurich won't probably need a second invite to just go, bam.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, we're in your face.
I definitely think there's two sides to what you're saying. Like, you've not been caught up and you are going to be, a bit down the dumps. Didn't get caught. On the other hand, the way I also see it is you've not been caught up, but now because of injury you have. So now's the time to go and show why you should have been caught up in the first place. Now you go and go, right, I didn't get caught up. That's on me. But now I'm going to make it on you. And you go in and you don't go overconfident, anything like that. You know you've got the ability. Go and show what you're about. I think Maatsen is a very good choice here for Netherlands rather, because he's a left back. And they are lacking out and out left back. So I think he comes in and it's a really good choice. So when he gets that, if he gets that playing time, that's where he shows, look, what I'm about. Because he's been good for Bristol Storm this season. Don't get it twisted. But more experienced players are in this squad, obviously. But now's your time to shine. So definitely agree with you on your point of, yeah, maybe his head might drop, and in the game that might affect him. But on the flip side, hopefully it can actually give him that extra push to go, well, you didn't pick me first time. I'm going to make sure there's not a second time, and push through that way. So I do like the contrast in kind of, how people's minds work and how that can affect people. Obviously, there's still a call-up waiting to happen for Netherlands, I think, at this moment in time. France first for you, yeah?
Yep. And then going off the news that we said earlier on in the video of Lewandowski definitely out for the first game. That's your main man. That's your star man. The heads are gonna drop. The manager's got to make sure now. Okay, yeah, we've lost our main firepower. Let's not get our heads drop. They're probably going to be slow off the start. Or is it enough to possibly lose a place to Austria? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my choice. It's going to be France, Netherlands, Poland, Austria.
Nice. So I'm looking at that, and actually, I will change mine to finish off. It's France, Netherlands, Austria, then Poland. Looking at Austria, there's just a lot more players, I thought, personally, than I realised. You've got Alaba as a non-playing captain. You have people in there such as Konrad Laimer. You have Sabitzer, really good midfield Baumgartner. You have Patrick Wimmer. You have Trauner. You have Kevin Danzo, Wober. A couple of these players might jump out at people. Obviously, Arnautovic. I actually think they've got better quality in some of those positions than Poland does. But that might be because my ball knowledge of Polish players isn't as good as Austria players or whatnot.
Yeah.
But looking at that, I think I'm actually going to put Austria third now and Poland last. And it also comes with the impact of Lewandowski missing the first game. I think if they lose that first game, obviously you don't want to lose again, but if you lose that first game, you're in a bit of a pickle with the 2 games after. And I think missing Lewandowski for that, when you need him realistically, it's going to be a tough factor to obviously get over. So we'll see how it develops. But that is everything, I believe, from us.
I believe so.
Lovely. So thank you guys for watching Group D with me and Kyle. We'll be back tomorrow for Group E and then the next day for Group F before leading into Friday for the start of the Euros. Let us know your predictions for Group D and who you think the star players are going to be. But it's thank you from me.
And a thank you from me too.
And we will see you tomorrow for the next video. Peace.
Yay.